So before we get started, I just want to say I have on a shirt, I promise, not naked. And I'm going to start by prepping my skin. I'm applying my favorite simple moisturizer. I talked about it in a recent favorite video, so be sure to check that out. I'm going to be priming my face with the Nyx Pore Filler. This is a great dupe for the Benefit Professional or the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. For foundation, I'm using the MAC Matchmaster Foundation, and I'm in a shade 7.5. I haven't used this one in a while, so I figured I would pull it out. And I'm just blending that in with a flat top kabuki brush. I'm prepping my eyes with the MAC 24-hour extended eye base, and this is an amazing eye primer. It's really going to help give me great pigmentation. I'm using my Wet n Wild Sunset To Be palette today, and I'm taking that bone, almost ivory color, and I'm applying that on the brow bone for a highlight. I didn't want like too shimmery of a highlight, but I wanted something that was going to still brighten up that area to help camouflage and blend into my transition color. And for the transition color, I'm going back into that palette and taking that orange shade on a fluffy blending brush, and I'm really going to buff that out and making sure to blend that in with the first color that I applied. You really want to make sure that you get a nice saturated color with this, because this color is going to help seamlessly blend the rest of our colors. So I'm just taking that back and forth on a fluffy blending brush. Next, using a Sigma E25 blending brush, I'm taking MAC's Brownscript and I'm applying that just below the orange shade, really concentrating that on the inner crease. I'm using this color to help transition from the orange. Brownscript is in the same color family, but it's a little bit darker and has a hint of brown in it. So it's really going to deepen up my crease without being too dark. And it's going to create this really nice gradient effect with the orange shade since they are in the same color family. So you really just want to blend that out. On my lid, I'm taking MAC's soft brown eyeshadow. And for most people, this would be a transition shade, but for my skin tone, I can get away with it as a lid color. If this is too dark for your complexion, you can always sub it out for like MAC's Bamboo. Similar, it's not as pinky, but again, it will give you the same effect. And I'm using a smaller detailed brush to apply this because I really want precise application with this. I'm gonna pack on a few layers to make sure it's as pigmented as I want it, but I'm stopping just before the outer corner because I'm gonna place another shadow there. Going back to that same Sigma E25 blending brush, I'm just going to blend out the edges. I'm not adding any more product on my brush, but I really want to make sure that everything is nicely blended and that there aren't any harsh lines that you can see. Next, I'm taking this Makeup Forever Artist Shadow, and I think this is in the shade Eggplant. It may be wrong, but I'll list it down below. Just check everything in the description box. And I'm packing this on the outer corner, and I'm loosening pressure as I get towards the soft brown shade just to make sure that it blends nicely. And I'm going in with a taper blending brush and dragging this into the crease. I'm going to bring this almost all the way towards my inner corner, but I'm making sure that the most concentrated color is on that outer V. I felt like my crease shades were getting a little lost with all the blending, so I'm going to go back into the Brownscript in the orange shade and just apply a little bit more and make sure that it's really nicely blended with the purple. All these colors complement each other, so I really wanted to make sure that you could see all of them and that they were nicely blended. I'm applying a little bit more of soft brown just because I felt like the inner corner had gotten a little too dark for my liking, and I wanted to make sure that that line was really precise. For my wing today, I'm outlining it with the Physicians Formula, like their eyeliner pen. I haven't used this in a while, but I figured that I would bust it out. And I was going to use this solely for the wing, but I wasn't liking the effect it was giving me. So I'm going to go over it with the Anastasia waterproof color in the shade Jet. It's just her black cream eyeliner. I've really been enjoying it. And I used her angled eyeshadow, not angled eyeshadow brush, but her angled brow brush to apply it. I'm using my NYX HD Concealer to conceal and clean up my wing liner. And you guys, I know you're tired of seeing this, but I'm going to apply that to all the areas I want to bring forward. And I don't know why I stopped using fluffy blending brushes to blend out my concealer, but you guys, let me tell you, it gave me the most beautiful, flawless finish and amazing coverage. I don't know why I stopped, but I'm definitely back on the bandwagon. To contour, I'm using MAC's Prolongwear Concealer in the shade NW50. And I'm applying that to all the areas I would normally contour. But today I'm using the LA Girl HD Concealer in the shade Chestnut to clean up the lines. I'm just applying that below where I would normally contour to make sure that it's sharp and defined. I don't like using a lighter concealer. Instead, I like to use one that's a little bit closer to my skin tone. I'm going to bronze per usual using this e.l.f. bronzer duo. I don't remember the shade, but I'll again list it down below in the description box. For my lower lash line, I'm going back into MAC's Brownscript on that Sigma E25 blending brush. And I'm really going to bring this far down underneath my eyes. You, again, can go as low as you're comfortable with. I like a really smoky look, so I bring this pretty far down. And just above that, I'm going back into the Eggplant shadow. But on this time, I'm taking a pencil brush and I'm applying this right on my lash line. I don't bring this too far down because I really want to keep this close to the lashes as possible. But I'm just applying that and smoking it out. And I'm going to go back in and blend the two colors together. You really want a seamless transition, and I didn't use the orange shadow, so I'm really making sure that the two colors are blended really nicely. I'm applying some of that black cream eyeliner to my waterline, and I was going to use white, but I decided to go ahead and stick with black since that was the theme I had going on for the day. We're going to ignore the lips, but for blush, I'm using the Sleek Blush by 3 palette in the shade Flame, and I'm using that peachy color and applying it to the apples of my cheeks and sweeping it up. Oh, that lip is tragic. For my inner corner highlight, I'm using MAC's Pink Pepper Pressed Pigment. This was a limited edition shade, but you can use whatever shade that you had that's similar. I chose Pink Pepper because it was more on the pinky rose gold side, so whatever shadow you use, make sure that it is in that color family. Now to highlight, I'm using MAC's Gold Deposit Mineralized Skin Finish. I've been loving this lately. But today, instead of using the Becca Opal Press Highlighter, I'm using Colourpop's Wisp Highlighter. You guys, honestly, I feel like there are difference is that the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector is $38 and the Colourpop Highlighter is only $8. If you don't want to spend the money, please go and get this highlighter. I'm going to coat my lower lashes with the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. And for the top lashes, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Miss Manga Mascara. This was a recent purchase, and I've been really enjoying this mascara. Let me know what your favorite drugstore mascaras are down below. Like I said, that lip was tragic, honey. So I'm going to wipe it off and do over. I'm applying this Revlon lip pencil. I don't remember the shade, but again, it'll be listed down below. And on top of that, I'm going to be using MAC's Myth lipstick. I got a custom color because I already had a lipstick shade on that was pretty bold, so it left my lips stained. If you're at home, you can use MAC's Myth or you can use MAC's Velvet Teddy. That would be beautiful with this look as well. And to deepen up the outer corners and to give you more of a purple shade, I'm using Jordana's Blackberry Lip Pencil. That is it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and like. I really appreciate it. And as always, I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.